part of the story of like how things got started is that like, you know, one day I was craving empanadas during COVID, and I talked to my mom. I was like, Mom, do you remember how to make empanadas? Can you make it? Remember the ones I used to make? Yeah. So she made it, and then, you know, I had some over, and then I had some friends over, and then during COVID, I think like right before lockdown, I had some friends over. It's like, oh, my mom's gonna make some empanadas tomorrow. I'll bring some. It's like, oh, I can't have it. I'm vegetarian. So I was like, okay, that's the first one. Then I was thinking, okay, my mom makes these spinach and cheese ones that I can ask her to do. Boom. And then I had another friend who was vegan, and then that's when it really put me for a twist. And it was like, okay, I don't know. We definitely don't have any vegan stuff because Uruguayans, at least that I know, there's not a vegan thing. It's not a thing.
Not really. Not yet. Not yet. Give it a couple years.
Exactly. I think that's one of my ideas for a restaurant. Actually, it's called like the future Uruguayan. You know, because we have to let go of beef. I personally believe that for environmental reasons and stuff like that, but we can talk about that later. We gotta let go of beef. There's 9 million cows in my country. There's only 3 million people. How's that possible?
That's crazy.
Uruguayans eat red meat like 4 to 5 times a week, something ridiculous like that. When you get married, you have an asado. When you get a baby christening, you have an asado. When your soccer team is playing, you have asado. That's like a thing, which is just red meat. It's barbecue, basically. And as attached I am to that culturally, I think it's time for us to evolve, right? Like it's time for us to adapt, and you know that's not sustainable and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That said, now I'm selling beef empanadas because it's my culture. It's what I grew up eating, but I want to introduce like the spinach and cheese and the vegan ones and stuff like that.
And let me just say really quickly is that I appreciate that you have. I think I have. Wait, what do I have right here? I think this is the vegan one.
Yeah, that's the vegan one. I can tell by the dough because it doesn't have any egg.
Exactly, this is the vegan one, and then I think there's this. Yeah, this is the spinach one right here.
Maybe
is this or is this the beef one?
Yeah, it might be the beef one. I should have like a little dot on one side. If it's red, is the beef. There you go, red dot by your hand on the other side.
Oh, there. Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, so that's the beef one.
Okay, so this is the beef one. I appreciate that you have the vegan one, but the beef one is just killer, man.
The beef one is I'm not ready to. That's what I said. Like, I would love to be vegan. In my mind, I would love to be vegan, but I can't let go of beef, man. I'm trying. Vegans out there. I promise you, I am trying.
You know what? You know what? And I want to get back to the story in a second, but it's funny because just earlier today, I was listening to, have you heard of this podcast called How I Built This?
No, I haven't. No, I'm just getting into podcasts now.
Okay. It's a great podcast hosted by Guy Raz. It's on NPR. Anyway, they talk to entrepreneurs of some of the largest companies in the world about how they built their company. So I was listening to an episode today, and it was the founder of Impossible Foods. Now, you may or may not know much about Impossible Foods, but they want to eliminate meat consumption by creating alternatives that taste like meat.
Yeah.
Or at least like feel like meat, have the same texture. So let's go back. So let's say, you know, you're in the kitchen, you're there, your friends are over, one of your boys doesn't eat meat for whatever reason, drop him. And he so you're asking your mom, hey, let's do this. So what was the moment? Like, bring me into the moment where you decided, or your mom decided, or your wife decided, or all three of you decided, maybe this is something that we could do for a business that keeps my mom busy. Maybe we can make a little bit of money. Maybe we could feed some people. Talk to me about that decision.
Yeah. So during the brainstorm ideas, I remember I'm a night owl. I usually do my thinking like late at night. I stay up, you know, play video games or whatever, but that's when ideas come at me. And that's when, and another thing is that I enjoy cooking. I literally enjoy cooking, like on my own. I follow recipes, or sometimes I don't. I try something different, right? So I try to make these empanadas myself. You know, back when I was thinking about this brainstorming stuff, and for the love of me, I couldn't get them. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do them closed. Like, it was too thin. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I couldn't replicate what my mom did. So that's why I said, I can't be the one who makes these. Let me be the brain power behind, you know, let me see if I can get the recipes going, so I can tell my mom, hey, remember the one that we had? Can you add a little bit of spice? Can you make a spinach and cheese one? Can you make a vegan one? What about a one with sweet potato? Let's add this, let's add that, let's do that, let's do this. So the recipes are hers, with a twist of my ingenuity, I guess you could say, right? When I started thinking about how we can do it for a business is when I got people like you, right? Who tried these empanadas and they're like, whoa, these are really good. When can I get them? I wasn't even selling it. I'm like, when can I get them? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, give me a couple of days. I'll figure something out. I know even maybe the first one that you tried, they probably like were a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger or a little bit inconsistent. They probably, we were just beginning back then. Now I'm fairly confident to say that like, we have progressed to a point where we have a working system. Like we at least were organized. Like I even, I got business cards made. I opened an Instagram page. I'm doing giveaways and stuff like that to try to build an online presence. And I gotta say that like since lockdown, since now I'm not working at restaurants, I'm able to focus on this. This has been growing. This has been growing enough to the point where, my goal, which again, it wasn't to be a millionaire, it wasn't to start a business, it wasn't to start a restaurant. It was to message my mom and be like, hey, you gotta make some for my friend tomorrow. Can you make them? Yes, of course. Can you make it next week? Can you make this? Now I'm like, hey, we got orders for the whole week. Can you fulfill? Like, are you okay with this? And she messages me and says, is there anything coming up? Because I want to get ready. I'm going to clean. I'm going to prep, which makes me happy because it means that I accomplished my goal. Which
Right.
again, just to keep her busy.